We're lucky enough to be at Fothergills trial grounds, and I've kept hold of Brian because he's going to talk about onions now. Now, my first question to you, Brian, is look, I've got a lovely display of onions, but I've got a bit of a bald patch in the middle. So come on, what's happened here, Brian?
They just literally there's onion fly. We've not had it on this land until the last few years, and they lay their eggs. The maggot goes down into the centre of the onion and the whole thing collapses. A few have survived, but they're never ever going to make an onion. Where the stronger varieties, and tends to be the F1 hybrid varieties.
Yeah, they really are very weak indeed.
But then you get this guy, one called Bonus. Look at the quality of that. It's a fabulous little row of onions.
That really is, isn't it?
See, that's a hybrid. You've got much better vigour. So it costs a bit more for the packet of seed, or plugs, whatever you buy, but you get your reward. Look how handsome that looks.
They really are good. With the maggot, the maggot we were talking about, there's no actual cure for it, is there?
I've never found one that's reliable. Thing is, you've always got it before you know you got it. It's in there, and all of a sudden your onion necks all fall over. So I don't know, is it in the earth? Does it stay in the earth from one year to another? I suppose it must do.
It must do, because that's why we rotate, don't we?
Yeah, that's what we rotate. Onion. So anyway, last year we had him on the other side, and we lost every onion on that patch. Same thing, they got to a certain size, probably thick as your little finger, and over they went, hold up.
Bad as that.
Bad as that.
Look at those leeks there. Leeks, and beyond that, sweet corn. I tell you what, let's pop down to sweet corn and have a look at that at the same time, Brian, shall we? So we're coming through the leeks. Look at all those different varieties of leeks. And we come on to sweet corn. Now I'd say, generally, I'd be disappointed with this first lot of sweet corn, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just a bit.
So what's happened here then?
It's been
Tell us more.
Too cold, too wet. We put these out as a reasonable sized plant. It's probably a plant about 15 centimetres high when we put them out. So we didn't put them out too early, but they hated the conditions. It turned cold mid-June, and once they take a check, you've got a heck of a job to unlock them. And then what happens then, they premature try to cob up. Well, you can see on these, the cobs you almost got to get on your knees to pick them.
They're right down low, aren't they?
Right down low, and then literally they won't make up. This fine one's supposed to be ripe. Yeah, that one's
no, we're walking along trying to find one now.
Right, here's one that's on a very, very dwarf plant, and you'll find it'll be quite scruffy inside. You see, it's not set properly.
No, the top's not set at all, is it?
So you can just about eat that bit. But that is stress. Sweet corn's got to grow in beautiful warm conditions. Doesn't necessarily have to have too much moisture, but it's got to have plenty and plenty of sunshine. And that's a sign that it ain't had plenty of sunshine.
Well, the only sunshine we've had is in the latter end of July and the beginning of August, really, isn't
these
it?
are struggling with cold.
Some of these are a bit taller in the middle, which is strange, because each side of the tall ones are short, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a varietal. You tend to find some varieties will tolerate. So these, will they make a cob?
They haven't really, have they?
Not yet. No.
So it depends again. We're very dependent on weather, on whether these are going to ripen up.
Some varieties will tolerate it better than others. See, some over that far side, a little bit happier in the size of cobs.
They're not bad, are they?
They're not too bad, but normally our sweet corn are up here. You can hide in them, you know. Get your deck chair, hide in here, bring your book. You have a job to hide this year.
Now with the trial ground, does that mean that you're growing several varieties here, many varieties? Let's take sweet corn as an example. Okay, we're taking weather conditions into consideration, and you're saying, well, they don't like this weather and they don't like that weather. Fine. Do you then discard certain varieties that don't work?
Not necessarily because of conditions. You see, last year the sweet corn was pretty good. A good sign of good sweet corn is the wasps will attack the super sweet corns we've got now. Literally are, excuse me, wasp attractants. So you end up with a lovely cob. Just before you would eat it, the wasps decide to go into it and then eat it alive inside. They don't do the old-fashioned varieties, your golden bantams, those John Innes type things, but they do the super sweets. Obviously they're after the sugar. But last year we had fabulous cobs, you know, foot long some of them. But this year you're going to struggle to get anything Well, at the moment, we'd be lucky to get any what I call barbecue friendly.
So all the varieties are out here. Most of these are in your catalogues for people to actually buy.
Not all, but I always say try new ones, just to say some you want them to yield. See, some plants, sometimes you only get 1 or 2 on a stem, but some of them modern breeding is actually trying to give you a little bit more cobs off a plant. So it's the breeding is going on to try and give you a better yield. Because after all, some sweet corns only have 1 cob on a plant. Is it worth growing? Might as well go to Tesco's and buy a couple from Tesco's, mightn't you?
So really, the argument is to read your catalogue and read online carefully to see what you're getting.
See what you get in. Some varieties will suit your growing conditions better than others. It's a few of them. Okay, it's one of the failures with us this year, the sweet corn.
But you've got to have failures and successes
but then, see,
on a trial
1 or 2
ground.
varieties will turn around and say, "I ain't too bad." So you end up with something that's sort of, hey, wait a minute. If you've got something that stands stress better than others, that's a thing recommended to people. You say, well, we tried this, but it survived. So you do end up with things that are sort of more friendly.
They are?
But you've got to stress them, haven't you, to find out what's good and bad. So it's important when you're straightening crops up. This is our Kelsey onion crop, but it's only a crop to straighten out the colour differentiation. We've got to have pure Kelsey looking onions. If you look closely, you get some whitey colour ones, which is wrong. They're lovely onions, but they shouldn't be Kelsey. So what we do is we then cast away all the wrong ones, leaving us just with the Kelsey types. And they will then be harvested, ripened, taken through winter until February, early March. Then we'll start them off again, a bit like any allium, comes up to seed. We have a lovely big seed head. Then the idea is to try and capture that seed. True onion Kelsey.
Is it easy to capture the seed? Do you have to wait till it's ripened, or can you take the head earlier?
No, you mustn't. Otherwise, you've got a hell of a job to get the seed out of the head. You've almost got to look at it daily, twice a day sometimes. Even allium at home, any alliums, you'll find that the seed heads, well, 1 minute got the seed pods there, a day later you almost shake the seed out. You've got to get the timing right. You've also got to get it so it's ripe, because if you take it too early, your germination's screwed.
And isn't it right that sometimes if they get wet on the seed head, they'll actually start growing,
They
won't
will germinate in the head. So that's critical. So what I will do is when they're coming up, when they're 90% ready, then we'll cut them, hang them upside down and store them so the seed drops out naturally onto the cover. So then you've got this lovely ripe seed that hopefully then goes through to be next year's crop.
And that's how you get?
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Kelsey
Kelsey onion. Read your catalogues carefully, have a good look, and this is at Fothergills Trials. We've talked sweet corn here, and it gives you an idea on what you can grow at home.